we are all the same people. So, with that being said, I found a document based upon a idea that we are all the same people, that we are all children, angel children, that all of us possess to some degree or another a quantity of innocence, a quantity of a fractal of divine God source, that we are all at one point in our journey, we all originated from the innocence of being little angel children, little cherubs with this innocence. And through evolution or devolution, through experience for sure, we are all battle-hardened warriors who have had to suffer through duality and experience, being taken advantage of, being everything that you can possibly be in the charade of duality, if you will. So I found a document. Let's see, it appears it's like a type of human resource type of document, but it says uncovering the dark traits of human personality, strive for better work culture and customer safety. And I don't know, I just thought it'd be fun to read a little bit from this and just kind of see what it kind of commentary might arrive or be informed from this paper. But it's an interesting concept. I'm imagining, you know, that someone within a human resource department for some, you know, corporation would have this document, and then, you know, as a consequence, be acting upon it, whether it's through their hiring process or through their firing process, like with current workers, but looking at their workforce, and this is what they're dealing with because of, I guess, various negative things that have taken place in the workforce. So dark traits are inherent in everyone. And then also this makes me think about the whole light worker, dark worker concept, the whole service to self modality of existence versus service to others, and where these two modalities might be the same ultimately. So dark traits are inherent in everyone. However, the quantity in which they are present differs from one person to the other. So this is an interesting statement. However, the quantity, yes, but who decides? Who is the ultimate arbiter? The person who decides what dark traits are to begin with, and the quantity thereof that exists in that personality construct. Someone obviously has taken it upon themselves to create this white paper. So let's see. While such traits can be beneficial to the individual's personal interest, they can harm those around him. There's a whole lot of concepts just within that one statement. While such traits can be beneficial to the individual's personal interests, they can harm those around him. And that's interesting because when I can remember early on in my intellectual or thinking process, trying to come up with what my own definition of what good and evil is, you know, being kind of frustrated at the whole acculturation process with, you know, religion and just kind of seeing a lot of disconnect in what I was being presented with and what I was observing in the world around me. And I remember at an early age trying to come up with my own definition of what good and evil are entails. And I remember kind of having this working definition of what good and evil is. I believe, and I still believe this to a large extent, that what good is and what evil are, what the two concepts, they involve a group of people, a tribe, if you will. And what ultimately is good and evil involves the welfare of that tribe or that group of people and their interactions. And I still believe that. And I think probably that definition came about in hindsight, being honest, because there's nothing new under the sun. There's no, I don't pretend to have original thoughts. I mean, the main thing I do believe in our journey as intellects and spirits, as angel children and hardened warriors, the energy, balancing those two energies and outlooks, I believe is clearing actually the clutter in our minds that's put there by the 3D digital matrix, and clearing it so inspiration from source comes about, because that's really the genesis of all thought. It's put there. It's like a download from source. And I mean, you can see it over and over again in the testimony of intellects, of creative people. Like one that springs to mind is the lady who wrote the Harry Potter series. She was homeless. By her own testimony, she talks about how her life transformed overnight practically, but the inspiration and the whole thing about the Harry Potter narrative came to her, she says, on a train ride. She was on a train ride, and then all of a sudden it's just like, and she describes it like downloading the information was coming into her mind. And so there you have it. That's really what, once we kind of get that conditioning, our day-to-day mental chatter, once we put that in its place, then that's when the inspiration comes from source. So we're all just really messengers of source. But anyway, the adverse effect of these traits can be traced to workplace environment, where individual behavior can cause a ripple of disturbance in form of employee disengagement, customer safety, unhealthy work environment, harassment, and more. It directly impacts the work productivity at large. Yes, work is a microcosm, I would imagine, of society at large. And if your society at large and your world at large is in chaos, it's only natural that the microcosm will reflect the macrocosm in workplace. But it's interesting. I just want to see kind of what the dark traits are. If the dark traits, so it says here, to overcome the adverse effects of dark traits, I guess Metal, this company along with these two companies, suggest having a proactive approach towards distressing incidents rather than delaying the response. Therefore, we propose dark traits personality assessment for blue collar and white collar recruitment, present employees, teaching and non-teaching managers. So here they are. They're playing a god in a sense by assessing these dark traits personality assessment. Since a stitch in time saves nine. So this is an interesting concept. I'm curious, how is the goth person the person who prefers to wear all black clothing, and what are the traits? If it's exterior, superficial, appearance traits, if it's of a person, the way they look, the way they dress, how do they assess this? Evolution instills dark personality traits. 3 factors that trigger dark personality traits in action: threat to work culture, threat to organizational, threat to customer safety, industry job role. Measure the dark traits. Characteristics of the 6 dark personality traits: opportunism, self-obsession, insensitivity, temperamental, impulsiveness, thrill seeking. Okay, well, that on the face of it, it seems they're looking at. I can see the merit in this endeavor. It doesn't seem being initially that it was something superficial, but self-obsession, that as a dark trait, if it's a person, and that goes back to what I felt was my definition of good and evil. Was good was what benefited the tribe. Evil was what was to the detriment of the tribe. Meaning, like, let's say you have and I don't know if I finished this thought, because I know I just woke up and I haven't got my coffee in me, and I do suffer from the dark personality trait of of adult attention deficit disorder, so my mind can jump around. But anyway, I was saying that I believe that my earlier definitions of what was good and what was evil was informed from my readings and fascination with Native American culture, and in particular with the Plains Indians. I was fascinated long before Dances with Wolves and Kevin Costner ever came out. That I was fascinated with the Lakota, and I actually met and spent some time when I was like 15 years old out in that part of the country, in Wyoming, Montana, and was around Native Americans. And I have one story that I still remember that was very impactful for me at 15 years of age, where I met a chief, a Lakota Sioux chief. Anyway, but I believe that my definitions of what was good and what was evil, and the tribe and a group of people, and how actions of an individual were either good for the tribe or bad for the tribe, came from my fascination with Native Americans and Plains Indians. So hopefully I finished that thought. I don't know if I finished it before, but self-obsession. So that this document, I think I'm going to investigate it. I'm not going to do it in real time right now. But anyway, I wanted to make the point. And that's kind of like, I woke up like, I feel like I have to do these, or somehow communicate with the outside world. I don't really have because people are still in lockdown. I haven't seen I rarely see a real person. I can't tell you, when the last time I actually interacted with a person from person to person. I'm a loner anyway. So it's just, I guess this is my way of communication with the outside world. But like I said, I woke up this morning and it was this idea in my mind about, duality, the innocence and experience, and how, I think of myself as this, I'm a light worker or a light warrior, but, where does that self-image, where's the reality and where's the exaggeration of it? Because my actions and what I think, we all tend to kind of, sweeten who we are, but there's really there's three of us that exist. There's the way we think of ourselves, there's the way other people think of us, and there's a consensus of that. They get the societal opinion or viewpoint. So there's who we think we are, there's who others think we are, and then the third is who we actually are, which is a blending of the three realities, if you will. And then even beyond that, there's subdivision. There's our ego, there's our subconscious or unconscious, there's the superconscious, there's all these divisions, there's right, left brain, there's just tons of fragmentation in a world that really has benefited from fragmentation of our psyche, of our personhood, of our self-concept. It's all about divide and conquer in this world of the 3D duality digital matrix. And what are dark personality traits? Who is a dark worker? Who is a light worker? But I think really the answer, is to transcend duality in whatever way we are able to recognize that that angel child, that little innocent angel, is still alive in everybody, no matter what we want label we want to put upon that other, when the other and us are all source. We're all source. We're all in this together, folks. Namaste. Namaskaram.